Hi everybody, it is the end of our time in Namibia sadly. We are back in Windhoek at the Windhoek Gardens guest house where we started our trip, and we've come full circle. Somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 kilometres I expect, with all the driving around Etosha that we did. But we've had an amazing time, but it's time to head to the airport in a couple of hours and return to the UK. It's a little bit hard to sum up this whole trip just yet, but there's been some amazing highlights. I think if you look back on it, the landscapes of Damara land around Ugab Terrace and Twiffelfontein were definitely a highlight. Swakopmund was brilliant. We had lots of fun there and enjoyed the cool and refreshing weather there, and the sand dunes were amazing. That was an environment that I loved. That was the last thing we did yesterday that I haven't spoken about. We went out with the guys from Living Desert Adventures into the dunes, and that was a really good tour. Those guys were excellent, really experienced at desert fieldcraft, so they showed us how to find tiny amazing desert animals. So we saw the most extraordinary little gecko that lives in the dunes. They found a small adder that lives in the dunes, and probably best of all, the Namakwa chameleon, which we found a couple of and got some great photos of that. So I love seeing those strange, unusual species that not everybody gets to see on a trip to Namibia. So that was really cool, and it was also just fun driving around in the dunes. It was a beautiful day with blue skies, so that was a lot of fun. And then we returned to Windhoek. As always on this trip, we kind of brought the rain with us. Came back to a huge electrical storm just hitting Windhoek last night, so that made an interesting end to the drive back. But skies cleared. It's a beautiful blue sky day for our last day of in Windhoek and before we travel home. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. The landscape's been amazing. The people of Namibia have been absolutely lovely, and we've been very fortunate. We haven't had any dramas on this trip. Our trusty Toyota Hilux has been brilliant, so we haven't had any flat tyres or mechanical problems or traffic issues. So the trip's been very smooth, and we'll now go home and take it all in, start processing the pictures and these videos, and have something to kind of share and remember the whole thing by. But Namibia has been a very special place, and I'm sure that we will be back.